We do, everybody. This is Courtney, and I'm here today to talk about Channel Zero, the Dream Door. Listen, on the 26th of this month, that's when they dropped the first episode, and for what I'm hearing, every day, till I guess till the 31st, all the episodes and all that stuff. Now, if you have Sci-Fi on demand, they're gonna drop all of them, which is kind of weird that they putting, doing it like this and all that. And I don't know why. Some folks are saying, "Oh, this not a good sign" or whatever, blah blah blah. But I'm just excited that we're getting 2 Channel Zeros in a year this year. So let's see. As for those who don't know, Channel Zero is basically an anthology series. It's like, if you think about American Horror Story, and how each season is a different thing. Whereas with Channel Zero, each season is based off of a creepypasta. What's a creepypasta, Cord? Well, creepypasta is an internet horror story and all that stuff. To be honest, some of the best fucking writing I have read in a good long bit. And it has a cult following in some of the on some of the stories. There's Slender Man. We all remember. Well, those who have been checking out creepypastas for a while now, they already know about Slender Man. But Slender Man got mainstream basically due to them young girls. They tried to kill that one girl. Talking about they did it because Slender Man told them to and all that. Like what that happened like a couple years ago. And so like the first season was Candle Cove. That was based off a TV series for kids that only the kids could see, and basically was making the kids go murderous and all that stuff. And kids disappeared, kids died and all that. The second season was the No End House. The No End House, uh based on this house that basically if you get through all the doors in the house, it's based on the creepypasta. If you go through all the rooms in the house, you're supposed to win money. But the way it differentiates in the TV show, like you go in the house, 9 times out of 10 you ain't gonna get at that house, and like the house is its own organism and basically eats off of you. It feeds off the people that gets in the house and all that. The third season was Butcher's Block, and it was supposed to be based off the was search and rescue creepypastas. And the thing with the search and rescue ones was about the stairways and the woods or whatever. And the difference between the creepypasta and the TV show, well, that season was the only thing that they kept from the search and rescue stories was basically the stairways. These stairways just popped up anywhere. So the third season was about these two sisters, and they was moving to this new place to start over. It dealt with mental illness, mental illness, the ghetto, the disenfranchised, and all that, cannibals, and occult, old gods, and all that stuff. And it was good. It was good. It was good. And this season is about the Dream Door, and it's based off a creepypasta called "I Found a Hidden Door in My Cellar." And today I went and found the creepypasta. I ain't listened to it like in years, and so I went and listened to it again and all that. And I watched the episode because Sci-Fi dropped the first episode for the new season. They dropped that like earlier part this month, and I was praying to God that they would just go on and just drop it instead of wait till the 26th and stuff. So I've been holding out, talking about it, reviewing it and everything. And I said, listen, fuck this shit. This is the week of. It's coming out this week. I'm finna talk about it. I don't watch this episode so much because it's so gang good. is so good, y'all. This season gonna be bananas, bruh. It's gonna be so goddamn fucking good, y'all. Okay, let's see. This season, infidelity, distress, uh, ways to deal with childhood trauma. Basically, what I'm thinking about, and it basically got one of the scariest monsters I seen in a minute. Pretzel Jack. That motherfucker is terrifying to look at. So terrifying to look at. Okay, so here's the cusp, but here's the recap for the first episode. All right, we have Jillian and we got Tom. They are married couple. They newlyweds. And so they are, in the beginning of the episode, they are Christianing they goddamn house. They newlyweds. You know, you're supposed to fuck in every room and on every flat surface you can find in your new motherfucking house. So they doing that, and come find out, you know, they had just got married. They've been friends since they were little kids, and they met up again during what I'm getting like around college and stuff like that. And so he convinced her to move back home to her her neighborhood and all that stuff. And you know, they been ace boon coon and stuff like that, you know, since forever. And so they going, you know, they got through doing what it do in the guest bedroom, which Tom is hitting, like, you know, that's gonna be our babe's room and shit like that. And so they go and eat. They eating sushi, which I ain't had in a quite a minute. I miss sushi. I want some sushi. And so, you know, they talking about, you know, how what they gonna do to the front lawn, like what flowers they gonna plant and stuff. And you know, he thinking roses. What you call them? Walking roses, climbing roses. And she's like, nah. Roses are lazy and they deceptive. You know, they look pretty and everything. But next thing you know, you fucking bleeding. I don't like roses. And he like, wow, that's a new one. I didn't know that, and stuff like that. And so they hear a ruckus. They hear a noise in the fucking basement. So they go down to the base to see what the hell going on. And what's just funny, when they go down there, it's a flat wall in the back. They kind of throw emphasis on that. And so while he going to check out what the fuck going on, homegirl Jillian, we're gonna call her Jill, I'm probably gonna call it Jillian anyway, but I'm gonna say homegirl. Homegirl is looking into this chest and all, and the chest got, you know, stuff from when he was a kid, you know, doodling, report cards and all that shit. And she looking through it, and there's also some stuff, her childhood stuff. Come to find out, the house they are in is his family home that his mom gave to him when they got married. You know, dad gone, his daddy dead and all that stuff. He gone to glory. And so while she's looking through it and he's trying to figure out what's going on, out the side, coming out this little closet, is this cute little cute ass dog. It's not a pug. Is it a pug? It's all black. Is that how black pugs look? I think it's a pug. Even that, either that is a mix between a pug and what they call them Griffin dolls or whatever. And so the dog just like and just try this motherfucking short ugly ass up the steps and stuff. And she like, oh my god, did we just get a dog like that? And like, this is amazing. And so they go and trick their asses up the steps and all this shit. And so I'm trying to make sure, see if I can get this timeline right. I might skip a part, so I'm trying not to. I might. Okay, so they having like this date night and all that stuff, and his best friend is there, and I guess his best friend date there, and they all talking, chit chatting, drinking and all that. And you know, the girl like, oh my god, you know, is it amazing, you know, you kind of love your life, y'all grew up and everything, how does it feel to be back in the house that you grew up in? And he's like, you know, it feels good, kind of strange, and yeah, and all that stuff. And you know, she was like, you know, how does it feel to be back after been gone for so long? And, you know, Jill, like, you know, well, you know, he convinced me to come back, and I decided one thing I was going to come back. And so Tom, no, the best friend, who the best friend name is? I can't think of the best friend. But, you know, He said something stupid, like, how I feel to fall in love with your best friend and all that stuff. And he said something along the lines of tender. And I like, bro, you ain't finna get no puss from that girl. Cause I don't know what kind of vibes you doing, but you look like you like, I could be doing something else. I could probably be jacking my meat off while looking out the window crying. Like being from motherfucking American Horror Story. I'm just saying. So Tom brings up, the fact that Jill, when she was young, she used to make these drawings, and he was trying to talk about this clown or whatever, Pretzel Tom, Pretzel John, whatever name, and all that stuff, this creepy ass fucking imaginary friend. He was saying it all wrong. And, sister girl had to like, listen, when I was young, I went to the circus, and there was this contortionist, excuse me, and so I drew this childhood friend that, they protect me and have my back or whatever, and his name was Pretzel Jack, which is funny. Pretzel Jack, Jack and Jill. And so, like, yeah, and it shows you, like, it cuts through, like, like how you draw pictures and everything, you make them slightly change on the next, and you flip it, and it moves like animation, old school animation, basically. And so she does that and all that, and there's that. So the next day, it shows them painting. And, they painting, getting the house in order, because they basically doing a whole ass renovate. Tom and his best friend, they are like contractors or whatnot. So, they painting and all this stuff, frolicking, playing around. And this is what funny, you have to pay attention to what they saying. Jill's like, the dog is there, being a dog, watching you, want to be in everything. And she like, which is funny was when I was younger, I had a little toy and everything, totally just exactly like this dog. Oh, really, bitch? Like that dog, huh? And so Tom splashed paint on them. They like, oh, you want to play? And they end up fucking again. Like I said, it's their house. They newlyweds. They got every right to fuck through their whole goddamn house, bitch. On every flat surface they can, hoe. You better get it in, bitch. So, what happens? Okay. So, after they get through and all that, it shows a scene where they are in a Home Depot or a Lowe's or whatnot. She's down the aisle looking at some paints. Tom is nowhere to be found, but she hears him off to the side and hear him and this woman. And so she goes to look down the aisle, and it seems like Tom and this woman have some kind of intense conversation. And so she like, okay, what the fuck going on? What's going on here? But she don't say nothing, though. She don't say nothing. So she steps back and gets back on the aisle before he turn around and see where she at. And so they talking, he trying to do short talk, small talk. And she like, mm-hmm. And so they get home. And she's at home, and Tom like, you know what we gonna eat? You want to order out or whatever? Cause I don't think they cook. I ain't seen nobody fried egg yet. But this is just the first episode. And so she looking through the mail, and it's this letter. Has Bob Hope in the front on the top, and it has Jillian big letters. And she like, as soon as she see who it came from, she tore that fuck up. And so he like, what's going on? What's wrong? What's going on? And she like, who that woman? And he said the woman name, which I don't forgot, Shirley Wonders, and all that stuff. And she like, what's going on? That conversation seemed kind of intimate. What's that? And she was like, he like, him and the best friend did some work on the house. They ain't like it. Boo, 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 boo. And she like, like, no, bruh, you sleep with her or something? And listen to this. That nigga ain't said that he did. But he wanna throw her daddy in it. And they keep throwing the girl daddy. in the face. I ain't like your daddy. And she like, bruh, I ain't say you were like my daddy. This is me talking. Bruh, I ain't say you were nothing like my daddy. I'm just asking, did your penis interact with her vagina? That's it. But he never said nothing. That right there is the first sign of discord. And as soon as that happened, shit start going out of whack, going out of order. In which I feel, as the rest of the episode go on, do she have some kind of sort of power? I think she has some sort of power, y'all. I'm seeing it. I'm sensing it. Or it could have something to do with, what's going on later on. Yada yada. So he ain't saying nothing. She feeling some kind of way. And all that. So she follows him one time. And he goes to this woman's house or whatever. And she sees it. She don't say nothing. She goes and talking about she don't say nothing. And so while she on the phone with him one day, and she gets off and she checks the phone log and all that stuff, the call log, she decides she gonna call this woman. So she go and call the woman, right? And she talks to the woman and she's talking about, don't call her no more. I had to get a restraining order. Click clack. And she like, So he come home. And she like, listen, I called the bitch. You still want to tell? You want to come on to tell me what's good? What's up? And then that back and forth, the deflecting, and all that stuff. This is how you acting when we first met in college and all that stuff. Everything sinister and all this and all that. And which was funny when he did this. Okay, when she first asked him about the woman, he pulled a stunt like what all dudes pull. What dudes, bitches, and all niggas, bitches, everything. Why don't you call her? See, you pull it out. So you don't want, pull out is like a double-edged sword. You banking on her not calling. So she won't look like no idiot. Look like she desperate. But either way, it could go either in your favor or no. So when she did call, he like, that shook him. So that's when he brung up how she used to act when they first date. And all that. Discord, and strange shit started to happen. Lights started blinking. Why the lights blinking? She rubbing her head. Bitches, you doing some Jean Grey Phoenix shit, ho. What's going on? What's good? And so, when that happens, she, did they go to bed mad? Did he? Okay, that was the first time he went. Now, he went to this other house twice. This is before the second time. So when like she's in the kitchen, dog there, and he calls her. He's in the basement. He asked her, listen, what was on that back wall? And she like, oh wow, what you talking about? What that's supposed to be on that wall? Plaster. What's good? And he like, well, come down. And there's this blue fucking door out of the blue. Like, okay, how the hell they get there? And they looking like, and my thing would be this. All right, listen, I'm finna go stay with my mama. And I'd have got myself and my new dog that just basically popped itself into existence. And I'm out. Deuces, bruh. If we're gonna listen, you can check that shit out if you want to, bruh. You could come with me, bruh. If you don't want to come with me, then you can deal with this door. I couldn't do the door, y'all. I wouldn't be able to do the door. So they trying to figure out. He texted his mama. Mama say ain't never seen the door. And I'm like, y'all just a little too calm. Like, how the fucking door get there? And so they called the best friend. He looking. He like, how the hell they get here? Did you call the cops? And she like, and Jill like, oh, gonna call cops. Ooh, cops. Goddamn door just busted out of motherfucker just out of nowhere overnight, bruh. So they like, so best friend decided he finna do some drastic measures. Homeboy went and got a hatchet. He tried to hatchet the son bitch. Well, work. The door they could never open and everything. They had no outdoor lock. So he decided he gonna get his sawed off and stuff like that. And homegirl like, oh, hold up, bro, what you doing? And he said, you want the door? Want it open? Want to see what's going on? Let's go see what the hell is going on. So they go toward the stairs, to get away from all the ricochet and all that stuff. And while the best friend's shooting the door, what's happening? Lights started blinking. It pans on to her. She motherfucking, her head starting hurting. I said, oh shit, what's good? What's gonna happen? What's good? What's good? What's good? And so, hold up, I feel like I'm about to sneeze. And after like all night trying to figure out what's going on, and they trying to figure out, okay, if this door right here, like after all night or whatnot, the door handle falls, right? And she's able to look through the hole with the door handle, and she sees stairs. So they finally get it open, right? And they going down there, and they basically calculate, how far that door goes. And so they decide, well, this about halfway into the neighbor's property. They go next door. So they go next door, talk to the neighbor, and all that. And you see how, Tom is like, whatever. Best friend like, I could be somewhere else. And, it's kind of the interaction, the chemistry between Jill and the next door neighbor is kind of, strange or whatnot. So, he's like, I guess he's, he studied to get his master's, whatever. And he brings up the thing about doors and all that, and philosophy and all that, psychology and all that shit. And they leave, and they keep going back and forth. They done brought some kind of dude contracted to mess with the door. Didn't work. Homeboy just looked at the door and turned around and walked the fuck off. So here they go back in and hatchet again. Here they go back with goddamn shotgun again, right? All that shit. Oh, and the difference between the first door and this door, it's a handprint on the door. It's the same logo as, Dream Door. Like, Butcher's Block had the cleaver, and No End House had the lotus flower. And for the life of me, I forgot what was the logo for the first one. I don't remember. So during this time and all that stuff, it's still discord. It's still shaky between her and Tom. So she's going to therapy. And the way it's talking, the way her and the psychiatrist, like, this has been a while. She's been doing this shit for a while. Okay. So they talking about, the door. And he's like, oh, well, it's just a wine cellar. And she's like, no, it goes too deep. And so he brings up the shit about her dad. And the relationship, the marriage between her, her parents. This is what's funny about what he says about that relationship. He said, well, your parents marriage or relationship was an anomaly. I'm like, that's a weird word to say, to put with relationship. Well, because the dude cheated. You know how many motherfuckers cheat? That ain't nothing. So what's up with the dad? Was the dad more than a cheater? Was he crazy? Was the dad a serial killer? what is it? Some with the dad. But the daddy was a serial killer, huh? It probably so. Knowing this show, the dad was a serial killer. Something I don't know. It just seems strange that like why her parents relationship or marriage was an anomaly. Folks get divorced every day. Uh Folks marriage don't never be pristine. That ain't real. Then that's not realistic. And so let me see what happened. So she goes back to the door and all that stuff. And I know I'm missing a part. I know I am, but for the life of me, I cannot pick it. But we're gonna keep going. So one night when it gets rough, when I mean rough, I mean rough. It gets hellified, rough and all this stuff, that tension that she feels and stuff like that. She goes downstairs. The dog said, no, bitch, I'm good. I'm gonna stay right here. Girl, you should have took the dog to haul ass. So she goes down the set of stairs by herself, goes to the door. And for the life of me, this time she decides that she gonna put her hand on the door. Now, a time before, she tapped on the door. And when she walked off, somebody from the inside of the door knocked back, tap, 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 knocked back. So she goes to the door, and and this time she decides she gonna put her hand on the door. She puts her hand on where the handprint at, and then the door opens, bitch. That she got her flashlight. That some bitch decided to act wonky. And when she going up in there, supposed to be a big ass fucking just blank empty ass room. This girl got more balls than a little bit, cause my scared ass wouldn't be able to. So she looking around trying to see what's up in there. And y'all, it's one motherfucker standing there facing the wall, y'all. And I'm like, bitch. Girl. Sis. Sister. Walk back slowly. Just walk back slowly, girl. And all that stuff. You see a pale white head and all that stuff. Then that motherfucker turned around, y'all. That motherfucker turned around and started walking all crazily and everything. And Am went straight for her. Y'all, when I first seen that, I damn near jumped. I damn near fell out my bed, y'all. I was hollering. It did the way that motherfucker ran up the steps with his arm like this and everything. All this shit. I was like, bitch, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is this? So she called husband, called police, and the police show up. And all of a sudden, police got something slick to say, well, you need to make sure whatever fuck you got going on there is up to code and all that shit. And then so she talking to the police, her husband talking to the police and everything, and the neighbor is outside. So she goes to the neighbor, she's like, like, I'm sorry, all this shit going on and all that. And so I'm peeping at the neighbor, and I'm looking at him. I'm looking at his body type and everything. Is you Presser Jack, bruh? You Presser Jack, ain't you, bruh? Yeah, you Presser Jack. Something about you ain't right, bruh. Something about you ain't right. And so he said something weird like, do you ever feel like certain things happen for a reason? Not supernaturally, metaphysically or some shit like that. And she like, do you think that has something to do with my house? And I'm like, bro, what is you trying to say? Is that how you spit game or some shit? What's going on? And so, the last straw. They have armament. She's like outside. Homeboy says he finna motherfucker go. Cause he says he gotta go go visit his best friend or some fucking shit. She go follow to the bitch's house. And like hunger opened the door like twice, what? 2 nights in a row, huh? And everything. And I'm like, twice in a row for what? What is going on? I'm like, girl, why don't you go to that door and knock on that door and ask for your husband? But if you did that, then the series show might be over. So yeah, I get it. I understand. So She said, I'm finna go to the best friend house. So she goes to the best friend. He opened the door. Now, see, I ain't always seen it for that motherfucker because something about him always seems salty. So she asking him, where's who's Shelly Wilners? His face, everything. I said, bro, you ain't got poker face for nothing. You don't know how to life work. Fuck. And you hear something in the background. And so she like, I know you lying to me and everything. She said, I understand you trying to keep a face, try to have your boys back and everything. But, I thought you'd be a decent enough human being just to let me know. And I'm like, bitch, if he don't want you, he is not finna snitch on his boy. Now, if he wanted you, he'd have sure did it. But, baby, he don't want you. So, So he gonna be loyal to his boy and stuff like that. And then that motherfucker start pulling up at her daddy and talking about, everybody ain't like your dad. And then come out talking about that she was crazy and just all kind of disrespect her. I was like, girl. I said, this motherfucker got some nerve. And then what's funny, right? They walking. She on one side of the doorway. He on the other side of the doorway, up in his house, right? And there's this doorway right there, and it's empty. Now, what you think you seeing in that other room is a chair. No, it ain't no chair. There's not no chair, y'all. And so they steadily going back, and it's getting mad ass motherfucking tense. And would you see this body unfold and raise up? And I'm like, ah, shit. It's the monster. It's Pretzel Jack. And so when he tried to throw in that last blow, Pretzel Jack comes out and starts shanking his ass. Now, the best friend almost had him for a quick second. Almost. That whatever he had a screwdriver, some shit in his hand, snatched that, tossed the best friend to the floor, used this hand that got the screwdriver in it, press again and start till his head was down there flat, bitch. While this going on, the girl in there screaming, she jerking and all that stuff and everything, twitching. I'm like, bitch, run. Whatever you touch, ho, wipe it off, girl. Wipe it off. Leave no evidence. And so she finally had enough to talk about, stop. And he stops. Then he looks at her, press a jack, and then this son bitch start doing, got that circus act trick, flipping and pop locking, and you can hear his bones scrape against each other. And he motherfucking waves at her and walk out. I like, what the fuck is this? This is the best first episode ever. This is the best pilot episode ever. Not pilot, I mean first episode ever. Yes. Motherfucking The Dream Door, y'all. Sci-Fi Channel Zero. Y'all, this season gonna be a killer, bro. I can feel it. I'm already ready for the rest. I've been fiending for damn near a couple of weeks. I'm ready for the rest, y'all. So that's it. I hope I got most of the good shit. Yeah, I think I did. So whatever I don't remember, I'll get it in the next one. So like, share, subscribe, and I'm out. Bye.